Hello, greetings. This is Grinstar, and today I am in a glitchy mood. More noise than glitch. But I learned a couple of things while I was playing around. I wanted to show them off. One is what I'm looking at. I'll explain this mess here shortly. Kind of started with this track, and what I wanted to do was um play around more with playing around with the parameters of the delay and reverbs and stuff like that to see what kind of shenanigans I can get into. Again, the heavy reverb, heavy delay, some filtering, kind of uh, kind of all powered by what just a bunch of delays. I think randomness and stuff like that. Keystrokes. So basically, the if you go up in value of the key, you change the basically some steps. Um, a lot of different ones on each of these things just to get this, and that's just the first track. So I started with this, um, and then basically I added pigments. I added an emulator too from Arturia. I added palindrome, and then I added this drum track. All of these have note receivers from the main source up here. So see note receivers, and then they all actually all go into this FX later, and basically all of it received in parallel, which means all at the same time. So this audio 2 is just basically a bus of sorts, which goes into this effects layer, and the effects layer, I kind of have different things going on to kind of make it glitchy or kind of introduce movement into the sound. So some of these are messing around with, like this one messes with the dry and wet of subverb. Um, this one, most of all the rest of these mess with in some case um, the mix. I mean the level of um, volume amplitude. Sorry. So each one of these messes with, like, okay, so if I'm over this one, you'll see that the multi combos is done, and multi combos is a compressor, another comb, and this replica is NI's delay, a resonator, and a granulizer. And then go down, and I got phase mutant down here and being messed with chorus. And so basically a bunch of effects going on, but I'm turning them off and on, or I'm messing around with the amplitude based on randomness. So I should have a bunch of effects going on that change the sound here and there. So when this plays, as you can see, it's total chaos and glitchy mess, and ultimately really wild. Um, you could let me mute this because that's gonna get annoying really quick. That's Subvert doing that stuff. It uses basically a ring bottom. It's a bunch of these different things going together to produce this sound. Um, Glitch Machines has some really weird um, things to put it together. And every now and then when I want to get some crazy sound, I'll use them. But basically, you could actually replace this with like echo effects down here, um, sort of gentle granulizing effects down here, um, reverse effects here, and stuff like that, and then use the randomizer or the steps even modulators to phase in and out the wet dry, or just even the volume levels of all the effects, and get kind of like what Infiltrator would do for you. Basically, give you a step on how to turn off a step thing to turn off and on effects. You could even use the grid. At one time I was using the grid to get the steps going, or get the turning off and on the effects. You can use the grid and the modulators for the effects, and then have that turn on and off and route to stuff. And then there's a step thing in there, which I swore I had on here at one time. I must have taken it off, and then just went with individual type of things. Yeah, this key tracking is actually really cool. Let me see if I can't um, turn most of this stuff. Actually, not turn it down. Let me just mute it here. So it should be just the first one, and then get the keyboard going. The concept is the lower the key, the up and down that we want the effects. So if we go up to here and then look at the effects of the key filter and what they adjust. So like in this one, we adjust the feedback on the delay here. So basically, when we go up in the the range or the notes or the frequency of the pitch or the keys, the more feedback it does. So as you can see, the thing changes, and as you can tell, one of these I got it going higher, and the other one I got it going lower. So as I go down the um, the scale, or go up in octaves, sorry, my mind. But as I go up in octaves, this one goes up while the other one goes down. But as I go in lower in octaves, which I'm doing, this one goes up and this one goes down. So for this particular one, I have the right and left delaying based upon the key that I'm pressing. So if I'm like C5, it's going to be responding to the right ear. If maybe I got this backwards. If I do C1, it's in the right ear. If I do C5, it's going to be in the left ear. So as the feedback goes up here, if I increase the octaves here and hit a button, see the feedback changes to the left ear and then goes down on the right ear. So if I do this, it's down. If I go lower in the octaves, like a C1, it gets shot up, so the right starts responding. It's kind of a cool modulator and then you can of course scale it to how you want on there for the thing. But if you want to modulate based upon what note is played, rather than actual arbitrary like LFO or steps or something like that, this is actually really cool to play around with, so that you can have it do different things based upon where in the key sequence what you're doing. So as well as I got steps, as well as I got these, and basically a lot of this is basically manipulating. This one's based upon the key press, and so I'm manipulating the I forgot which one I'm manipulating. Oh, the reverb. A reverb time I should be manipulating. Yeah, there it is. So this one I'm manipulating reverb time. This one I'm manipulating delay note, and that's the time. So I'm making it go up and down just to see what happens when you mess around with these things in real time. You can get some really cool effects. I think Vinny's Theory in one of his videos showed using a whole bunch of delays to create a sort of a basic reverb. And so seeing that, I wanted to experiment on my own and see how crazy I could get. with this. Even this is using a up and down and or sorry, an LFO and an ADSR to try to mess with the filter to give it a weird type of sound. At the end of this, I had it sounding like a plucked instrument at one time. It was really crazy. And then all of the tracks are here, so every one of these are coming back off of a different track, so everything gets uniformly into the audio too. Track, and then goes through the FX layer, and then does all of these individually, and it turns them off and on, so it gives that really weird, noisy, glitchy type of application to it, which goes through all the other effects and probably is killing my processor. Little do we know. I also have the mix modified so that I can cut off all of the effects. As you can see, it just got hit. I can cut off all the effects randomly also, or by step. I forget which one's actually doing the modification. That one. So it's being triggered on the steps. So as you can see, it's just moving along, and it'll turn up and then turn down based upon the steps. So we can totally go like that, and nothing will be there if I want to go here, turn it on here. So total craziness, I'll admit. Yeah, let's grab that. So at any rate, just wanted to show that off for today's video. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, and I will catch you later.